Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Adonis podcast. The usual intro and shit. Christmas at the time of this recording is 3 days away, and honestly, I have been so beyond stressed out that I haven't even noticed. But I wanted to take some time to make this podcast to address a few things and talk some shit. So for my first subject, I'd like to talk about a girl named Madison Kowalski. You may or may not have heard of her. I just found out about her today after she released some videos that went viral telling her story. Basically, it seems that she was taken advantage of while under the influence, and some inappropriate videos leaked on her online, mostly Yik Yak and Twitter, where she was nude and seen in partaking in sexual activities that she may or may not have agreed to. She's not giving us all the details for legal purposes, but she wasn't really talking about the fact that those videos were leaked, but more so what happened afterwards, the bullying, the harassment, the fraternity brothers that did this to her made it their personal mission in life to straight up ruin her life. They even leaked her phone number online, contacted her parents, went after her friends and family. She was also really surprised how many people did not have her back. People that she thought would be her friends ended up betraying her, ended up making fun of her, contributing to the rumors, ended up blocking her or cutting her off entirely. She even mentioned that two of her friends from back home joked that there was going to be a reunion at her funeral after a rumor circled that she had died. Now, her case was huge, so huge that even popular influencers got involved, and they also participated in slut-shaming her, etc., etc. Now, I just found out about this today because I do not keep up with what most people my age are into. I may be the age of the Gen Z generation, but honestly, I feel like I'm here just as an observer, because I am nothing like the retards in the Gen Z generation. I don't party all the time. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. I don't watch the same shows they watch. I don't listen to the same music they watch. I don't follow the same influencers that they follow. I am very distinctly and ultimately different from a vast majority of people my age. Now, what's ironic is these same people who glorify sex, these same people who glorify women who dress like hoes, who wear as little clothing as legally possible, they are now slut-shaming Maddie for those videos that were released. Let me get a few things off my chest. Number one, what goes on in your sex life is your business and yours alone. Whether or not she did consent to whatever was going on, because I personally have never seen the videos, that's her business. And I'm going to go ahead and say that she did not consent, because even if she wanted it or implied that she wanted it, she has made it clear that she was very obviously intoxicated in these videos. And to have sex or engage in sexual activities with a person while they're clearly under the influence, legally speaking, is rape. Charlie Kirk even made a very good and solid argument about this in one of his viral campus debates. They were ultimately talking about romance in today's day and age. Is it ultimately rape if you go to a bar, you meet a girl, and you take her home and you hook up with her? And Charlie ultimately decided that it is, legally speaking, rape, because if one or more party is under the influence of drugs and or alcohol, legally speaking, they cannot give consent. Therefore, this whole hookup culture is basically ultimately rape culture. So, and it's not just for one gender. It's not gender specific. If I take a girl home and she's drunk and I have sex with her, even if she consented, that is ultimately rape. If a girl takes me home and I didn't consent, even though I'm the man, but I'm under the influence and she has sex with me, then she's the rapist. If we're both drunk and we end up in a bathroom somewhere in a gas station and fucking our balls out, then I guess the woman and I are both rapists. We're basically ultimately raping each other. It is, and it really shouldn't be, but it is a very gray area. But for the record, from the research that I've done personally and from what Maddie has said on those videos, I am going to 100% put my faith in what she's saying and say that Maddie was raped. Now, I don't know exactly what it was that they did to her, but the fact that she was under the influence, I'm going to go ahead and say that that was completely non-consensual. What definitely was non-consensual was them recording it and then posting it on the internet. She has stated that she was unaware that it was being recorded. And also, it is highly illegal to post nude photographs of people without their consent. Trump has been strongly enforcing this since he's gotten back into office. So that's two things that went highly wrong is, one, they raped her. Two, they posted it online without her consent. The whole situation is just unbelievably wrong. And I know I've spoken about rape cases before, and I know I have slut-shamed rape women who have claimed to have been raped or sexually abused. And see, I think I'm largely misunderstood by my haters who are trying to create a false narrative of me. I can tell, I'm very good at reading people, and I can easily tell who's lying and who's not. An example of this is this girl named Sarah Burglass. She used to be my next door neighbor. Technically speaking, we lived directly across the hall from each other, but the hallways are so narrow. I mean, I could literally just step outside my door and I'd be right at her place. So, for all intents and purposes, Burglass was my next door neighbor. You know, when I first moved into Nova, I wanted to get to know my neighbors, get to know who I was going to be living next to, make new friends. Since her door was right across from mine, I went straight to her house. No idea who the fuck was on the other side of the door, but I went over there, introduced myself to her and her roommates, and she seemed nice at first, but Burglass was ultimately very bipolar with me. Sometimes she'd be happy to see me, other times she was very standoffish and gave me this attitude like she wanted absolutely nothing to do with me. One time, me and my friend went over there, so basically she knocked on my door, and this is when I really figured out what kind of person she was. So she knocked on my door, and she asked if we had any alcohol. I said no, we didn't have any alcohol because I drank it all. My friend offered to go across the street to Mike's Beer Barn to get a bottle for all of us, because me and my friend were literally just hanging out. It was maybe 9 p.m. on a Saturday, and we were like, we need to find something to do. We were trying to decide if we wanted to go out, if we wanted to stay home and play on the video game, if we wanted to go back to his place. It was kind of up in the air. And then, so we kind of felt like this was like God answering our prayers in a sense. Like, Burglass shows up, she's asking if we had alcohol, and we were like, my friend was like, why don't I just go across the street and get us a bottle, and then we can all just drink and hang out and sit around. So we go to Mike's, we get a bottle, we head back, we bring over the alcohol, and we're drinking and whatnot. And the girls did invite us in, but it felt like almost like they didn't want us there. They were giving off this energy that they didn't really want us there. They didn't really want to hang out with us. They just wanted free alcohol. They just wanted the bottle. They wanted us to hand us the bottle and then go right back to whatever the fuck we were doing. There were 3 girls in total. All of them had fucking ADHD. Me and my friend both were trying to talk to them, and they could not even finish a sentence. Like, bro, like, I'm a very hyper person, okay? I don't think being hyper necessarily means that you have ADHD or you have a problem of some sort. I think it's perfectly fine and normal to be hyper. Me, for example, I'm a very hyper and a very active person. I like to stay active. I like things fast-paced. That's just who I am as a person. I don't have ADHD or autism or any of these mentally retarded sicknesses that the media develops to psyop you to go to these doctors and give the pharmaceuticals your money and make them rich. I don't have any of that shit, and I never believe I had. I believe that I am a highly active person, and I like to move quickly, and I like to move things quickly, and that's just who I am as a person, and I don't think that is anything wrong with that. That's just a natural part of my character. When I hung out with these girls, I then believed in ADHD. Because I would be talking to one of them, and they couldn't even finish a single fucking sentence. They would get 2 words in and then get distracted by absolutely nothing. Like, I'm looking around, I'm like, what, is there a fly in the air? Is there what's up with this? These girls are getting distracted by literally nothing, by fucking air. Like, there's not even a fly in the room. And I kind of give my friend the side eye, and I'm just like, how the fuck do we get out of this situation? Back then, I was nicer, believe it or not. Back then, I was known as a pretty mean guy, but I actually consider myself nicer because it seems that over time, I just get meaner and meaner and meaner. And you look at me now versus me 6 months ago, and you'll be like, holy shit, he was so nice. What happened? Back then, I was basically like, I want to leave, but I don't know how, like, I don't want to be rude, even though it was very fucking obvious. Those girls did not want us there. They wanted nothing to do with us whatsoever. They just let us in because, well, they bought us alcohol. Now, if I was put in the same situation, first of all, I wouldn't be caught in that situation because I don't hang out with women because they are all ultimately retarded. But now you put me in that exact situation. I'm trapped in a house with 3 schizophrenic girls. I would have said, fuck you guys. I'm out of here. Y'all are fucking annoying. Give me back my damn bottle. I'm getting the fuck out. This is the most wildest part. So the girls decided that they were going to go out to the club. And they looked at me and my friend and they said, we're going to go to the strip. Do you want to come with us? And I was the first one to say nope. Like, I didn't even give my friend a chance. I didn't know what he was thinking. I didn't give him a chance to answer. I'm like, I could not imagine spending a night with these girls. We're either going to get there and they're going to instantly ditch us for other guys, or we're going to get there and they're going to annoy our fucking balls off. So I'm like, nope, I ain't going. I'm going back to my place. So my friend, he kind of just follows my lead. He's like, nah, I think we're going to stay in. I like to point out how polite my friend is. Like, it's just so funny reliving the memory. Like, they invite us, even though they clearly don't fucking like us. They invite us, and I was instantly like, no. And then my friend was like, no, he's like, we kind of just want to stay in. I think we're going to relax for the night. And this is not the first time. Honestly, I need to bring him onto a podcast episode, and we could just talk about situations. because there are countless situations where we're hanging out and I'm just so blunt and straightforward with people. And then he comes in and he kind of tries to soften the blow. He's like, well, the reason why we're not doing that, and I kind of look at him like, why the fuck are you being nice? We don't owe them a fucking explanation. Fuck you, motherfuckers. So the girls grab their purses and leave. So me and my friend are sitting in their apartment without them. And I look at my friend and I go, did they just leave us alone in their apartment? They didn't kick us out. They didn't even try to politely kick us out. They weren't like, all right, well, we're going to go out, so it was nice hanging out with you guys. Bye. Like, they literally just snatched their purses and ran. I'm like, bro, it is 9 o'clock and the clubs ain't closing anytime soon. What are y'all in a rush for? So me and my friend, we're just standing in a stranger's apartment. Mind you, this was maybe a week after I had moved in. I had met Burglass only a handful of times, and I definitely didn't know her roommates as well as I knew her. I didn't know Sarah Burglass well at all, and I definitely did not know her roommates as well as I knew her. Like, I'm just trying to put it into perspective. That's how little I didn't know these girls. So, we stood there for a minute, and I looked at my friend, and I'm like, these girls just let 2 complete strangers left them in their house. We could rob this entire place, and they could do nothing about it. Obviously, we didn't do that. We just left the apartment, went back across the hall to mine, and we kind of just sat in the living room and just pondered on the whole situation, and we both looked at each other and we were like, what the fuck was that? And my friend mentioned that there was a distinct moment that I looked at him and he said, I knew that look. He said, I knew you wanted to get the fuck up out of there. See, usually when I don't like a girl at all, he's the guy to be like, I actually like her. And, you know, she has her flaws, but we all do. So, like, it's okay. Let me get to know her a little better. And then in 6 months, he'll come back to me and he's like, you were right. I used to be a playboy. So I'm very distinctly able to spot the different personalities. So I see one red flag and I take off. I'm like, nope. Oh, why did you block me? Well, you gave me a funny look. You left because I gave you a funny look? Yeah, I didn't like the way you looked at me, so I'm gonna dump you now. Okay, obviously, that's exaggerated. That's way out of context. That's exaggerated for comedy purposes. Obviously, I haven't had a situation like that, not yet. First, I was a playboy. Then I started having standards, and so I would only hang out with women that didn't treat me like I was their personal emotional punching bag. And then they all started doing it. So then I would still hang around with women, but it was less and less and less. It got to the point where if I saw one singular red flag, if I just saw the tip of a red flag, I would take off as if I had just seen Pennywise's red balloon. Now, I don't talk to girls at all. I don't even follow them. I don't associate with them. See a girl pop up on my screen, scroll past. Not interested. Had a conversation about this the other day, actually, with someone. He said to me, he's like, so are you gay? And I'm like, no. He's like, I said, I'm not gay. I just don't like girls. And I said, let me break it down to you. I like them sexually. I'm still sexually attracted to women. I just can't fucking stand their personalities. I like them on a sexual level. I just don't like them on a personal level. And he said, you sound like Andrew Tate. And I said, oh boy, that's funny, because I follow Andrew Tate religiously. So I made my own analysis of Bert Glass in that after that night, I'm like, okay, so Bert Glass is ultimately a cunt who has some psychologically mental issues, and she is ultimately bipolar. She doesn't know what she wants in life. And I was 100% right. Couple months later, she followed my Instagram. I followed her back because I was still trying to be polite even though I didn't really think highly of her. And then she blocked me. So weird. You follow me, so I give you the courtesy of following you back, and then you block me. I tried to follow her on Snapchat, and then she wanted nothing to do with me there. Okay. So you want to be my friends on Instagram, but not on Snapchat. Found her TikTok, and then she blocked me on that. But not before I found a video where she basically accused Jake Paul and the Nut Boys of raping her in a club. And I featured this video on the Tell a Nasty podcast before. It's been posted on my social media. To recap, basically, she has some connection to the Nut Boys, or so she claims. And she met up with them in Miami. And they went into this really busy, really extravagant Miami club. And she went to their table, and they proceeded to gang rape her in the middle of the club. So I said to myself, hang on a second. You were in a public setting. You were in the middle of a very busy Miami nightclub with a bunch of famous people who have cameras and phones and eyes on them at all times when they're out in public. And they straight up gang raped you and nobody fucking noticed and it didn't go viral. Yeah, that doesn't sound believable at all. And then, if that's not ironic enough, Bert Glass has a fucking boob job. She dresses like a total whore. She even has an OnlyFans account called Sarah Boo. Like, she literally goes out, dresses like a total slut, dresses like a whore, talks to a million different guys. And I've also heard rumors from other people that she regularly accuses random men of raping her. Some say that they've even gotten fired from their jobs because of her. So I'm just sitting back on my throne and I'm just like, wow. So this girl is everything I predicted. Okay. She's everything I predicted and worse. Like, I remember when I found out about her OnlyFans account, someone sent it to me. They're like, ain't this the girl that lives next door to you? She's like, she's got a fucking OnlyFans. And I said to myself, that explains a lot. OnlyFans chicks are the weirdest fucking cunts whatsoever. Like, once I saw that, I'm like, well, that explains a lot about her personality. That basically answers every single question I've had about her ever since I met her. I'll give you another example. One time, I was at a block party over on Madison Street. And I'm over by Sunstop. Bert Glass turns up out of nowhere. She says hello. She says she's happy to see me. All cheery, like giving off cheerleader vibes or whatnot. And I'm confused because I passed her in the hall like earlier that week and she gave me the death stare. So, I try to be polite. I said, how are you? I begin to walk towards her. I'm standing maybe 10 feet away from her. I was trying to walk up to her as one often would do when you're greeting somebody. And she took 2 large steps back like I had the fucking coronavirus. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do you go so bipolar in what, fucking 2 seconds? Like, first, you're happy to see me. And then in the same millisecond, You want nothing to do with me. I'm like, bitch, it's not like even I noticed her first. It's not like I noticed her first and I was trying to talk to her and she was like obliged to talk to me or whatever. No. I literally did not notice that she was right there. And she said hello to me and insinuated a conversation with me and then blew me off. What the fuck is wrong with this girl? This is going to be my final example when I gave her back the same treatment that she gave me. I was sitting in my apartment lobby one day, eating snacks out of my little Sonic popcorn. I actually still have it. So I'm downstairs, eating my snacks, right? Watching TV on my iPad, just minding my own business. But Glass shows up, all happy to see me, and I already know, like, the second I show any interaction, she's gonna lose interest. She's gonna want nothing to do with me. I'm just gonna ignore her. Put my headphones back on, turn up my show, ignore her. She keeps trying to get my attention. Mind you, I was literally down there with who were then my friends, or not my friends anymore, but I was down there with some friends of mine who were also at the time my neighbors. She comes up, she tries to join in the party. I'm like, yeah, alright. I had literally stopped what I was doing to have a conversation with my friends. As soon as she showed up, I turned the iPad back on, put the headphones back over my head, and went right back to what I was doing. Right in front of my friends. They saw the entire thing. Just a massive, big fuck you to Sarah Burglass. She's trying to talk to me. I didn't even say hello to her. So then she's like, okay, well, that's weird. He's usually nice to me. She starts talking to my friends. They engage in conversation. When it's time for everyone to go up, she tries to say goodbye to me, and I ignore her completely. She tries to say it again, and then she goes, you're ignoring me. You're ignoring me. And she turns to my friends and she goes, Adonis is ignoring me. And she goes upstairs. And I'm like, man, women love to ignore you, but they absolutely hate being ignored. How ironic is that? Women absolutely love leaving you on read, leaving you undelivered, blocking you when you give them a follow. I mean, they love throwing it in your face that you're being ignored. You ever try talking to a bitch and she ignores you, leaves you undelivered, and you think, oh, maybe she's busy or whatever. Oh, it says she's active. Well, maybe she's busy, whatever. She just opened her phone. She has that time to respond, whatever. And then you see her looking at your stories. And then, like, 2 days later, she responds, sorry, I was busy. Did you just fucking lie to me? You're watching all my stories. I just posted 20 stories in a row over the course of 24 hours. And you watched every single one of them. But, I was too busy to respond. Yeah, I was busy for the past 28 hours that I couldn't take 2 seconds to respond to your text. Honestly, I don't know why I don't fucking hit the block button and at this point. Like, bro. Get a grip of these cunts. Get a grip of these motherfucking cunts. But then, when you try to give them a taste of their own medicine, intentionally or unintentionally, then they lose their shit. So then, months later, as I'm getting ready to move out of Nova because of the whole Annabelle shit, mind you, Sarah Burglass was probably one of the girls who went to the front office in line. He has an Annabelle doll. I can't sleep at night because there's an Annabelle doll downstairs 4 stories under me. Oh my god. What? Can you hand me another box of tissues? I ran out. But Burglass was one of the so-called victims, if you want to phrase it that way, that I called out on my jack-off list. For the record, it's actually my enemy list. I have an enemy list. But I changed the word enemy to jack-off, and now it's gone completely viral. No one fucking cares about your enemies. But when you make them think, oh no, this is actually my jack-off list instead, oh, okay, now you got our attention. But I mentioned Burglass in it, so Burglass unblocks me, and she texts me, why do you hate me so much? So I texted her back, why did you block me in the first place? And she responded with, I don't know. And then blocked me again. This woman is a fucking clown. So first of all, I know I sound like a fucking joker right now, but honestly, Burglass is such an idiot, you can't help but laugh at her. So first, you want answers, right? But before you get these answers, I need some answers myself. Oh, you don't have these answers. Well, fuck it, I guess we both ain't getting answers then. Where's that block button? Let me hit it again. My God, what was even the point of unblocking me? You did not get the information you wanted. You didn't even give me a fucking chance to explain anything. Well, why do you hate me? Well, why do you hate me? I don't know why I hate you. Let me block you again. What the fuck? What was the point of that? You just wasted both our times. What the fuck was the point of that? I don't think Burglass's medication is working, honestly. I don't think her medication is working. She's highly off her meds. She needs to get them illegally at this point for her own fucking sake. The whole reason I even brought up Sarah Burglass is because we were talking about Madison Kowalski. And you can very much tell the difference between a woman who was raped and a woman who just claims to be raped. I personally, like I said, I'm a very good judge of character. I'm very good at reading people. That is a skill that I've developed, and it has grown much stronger due to my past experiences with shitbags. One of my favorite movies that is based on true events is called I Spit on Your Grave. It's about a girl who gets raped. She gets gang raped in the middle of nowhere, and out of the anger that she feels towards these men, she kills them all. And it's a pretty good movie. They made a few of those movies, actually. Only the first one was true, so first one came out in like 1940. I haven't seen it. They made a remake of it, which was really good, but only parts of it were true. She did get gang raped. She did not kill anybody, basically. So half the movie is true. Then part 2 and 3 were completely fictional, but still entertaining. Now, it is natural for women to hate men or be more wary around men after having been raped. Kind of like if say you got bit by a dog, if you got attacked by a dog, and now you're scared of dogs or you don't like dogs, that's in response to the trauma that you have from the dog attack. Now, a big reason why I like the movie I Spit on Your Grave a lot, as controversial as it is because of how well they depict Jennifer's character. Jennifer is the name of the victim in the movie. And I know that they depicted her character well because I've studied rape cases. One of the things that she does that real rape victims do is they tend to wear more baggy clothes or clothes that cover up more. They may have used to been a party girl wearing crop tops and thongs all the time, and now they wear hoodies or long sleeves or sweatpants, stuff that makes you not be able to see basically anything. And they do this out of fear that a man will basically become provoked and rape her in the street. And this is another argument that's made a lot is, oh, a woman shouldn't get raped because of what she's wearing. I agree with you. But let's say things from a rapist's perspective for a minute here. Let's use our brains and not be a dumbass for once in your pathetic life. Let's say you're a rapist and you want to rape a girl. And you're looking for a potential victim. Now, you're probably going to choose a girl who looks like she can't defend herself, who looks like she's going to be an easy target. You're not going to go for the muscular lesbian-looking bitch, right? So let's say you have two options. Option one is a girl dressed in basically nothing. She's wearing maybe nipple pads and a thong, wearing basically as little clothing as you could possibly imagine. And she's got nothing on her, she's got no friends around her, completely defenseless. And then you see another girl who is fully dressed, is not calling attention to herself, carries a taser on her. Well, maybe you probably won't even say that, but let's just say, she's fully dressed, doesn't call attention to herself. Naturally speaking, a woman who walks into the store in a bikini top is gonna be drawing much more attention to herself than a woman who walked into the store wearing a regular fucking shirt. So, as a rapist, you remember this. Now remember, you're the rapist in this scenario. So as a rapist, who are you gonna choose? The one who's dressed in practically nothing? Or are you gonna go after the mean-looking girl who is covered from head to toe? Out of all the rape cases I've heard, I've never heard of anyone raping a fucking nun. Yes, you should not be raped or assaulted based on what you're wearing. Yes, it is wrong for them to do so regardless of what you're wearing. However, it does not change the fact that if you wear basically nothing and walk around at 2 o'clock in the morning when all the criminals are out, which is something that a lot of Tallahassee women do, the likelihood of you getting raped is much, much higher versus if you go inside at nighttime and you dress modestly in a way that does not call unwanted attention to yourself. It's kind of like if I had a gold watch, right? And I'm walking around with my gold watch. I'm already calling attention to myself from everybody because I'm wearing this sparkling diamonds and gold watch. Now, if I then decide to walk in the hood at nighttime, I go to the most ghetto-ish, sketchiest looking window. I walk in, there's smashed windows everywhere, potholes in the ground, fucking black-ins and niggers hanging out. Hey, what's up, man? Smoking weed like their life depends on it. And I walk in, casually walk in, pretending like I'm in the suburbans, pretending like everything's fine. Oh, I shouldn't get robbed from what I'm wearing. And then some nigger shoots me to death and steals my watch. Or let's imagine a different scenario. Let's say they hold me at gunpoint and steal my watch, and I escape, and then I do what these fake rape victims do, which is basically complain about it and say, oh, well, I shouldn't be robbed for what I'm wearing. What that guy did isn't right. I'm gonna get another watch that's flashy and expensive and walk into a more dangerous neighborhood or walk into the same dangerous neighborhood and then complain when the exact same shit or something worse happens again. Now, most people are smart enough not to walk into the fucking hood if they're wearing expensive shit. Most people are definitely not stupid enough to go back into the hood if they've been robbed. But see, this is the difference between a real victim and a fake victim. Girls who just want to be raped because they want to be the victim of something so badly, they say they've been raped, they say that they've been raped to tents, they accuse men that they don't like of rape because they abuse their power as a woman and they know that they can easily destroy his life because most men, including those involved in the legal system, think with their dick and not their fucking brains. So a girl will go out and she'll claim that she's been raped. And then you'll point out her slutty outfit, and then she'll get defensive because you've just called her out for telling a lie. So to make it seem like she's not lying, she then gets defensive and says, oh, well, I shouldn't be robbed for what I'm wearing. I shouldn't be raped for what I'm wearing. And then 6 months go by, she'll come up with another rape case. And it's like, wow, it's almost like you didn't learn your fucking lesson. Maybe you deserve to be raped then. look at a real rape victim, now that rape victim may or may not have dressed modestly previously, but let me tell you something. After a rape victim has been raped, you will not see her running around in a fucking bikini top. Maddie Kowalski is actually a perfect example of this because when I saw her video, she was not wearing a crop top. She was not wearing anything to call attention to her body. She was dressed in a standard t-shirt. It's crazy to me because a lot of these OnlyFans chicks who claim that they've been raped, who are obviously lying, a lot of these girls who talk against rape, but then they wear provocative clothing, a lot of these useless whores who have no brain, who just sell themselves on the internet for money, and these thought-loving guys who follow them, they're attacking Madison for what she went through. They're attacking her, they're saying that she knew what she was doing, they're saying that she's a slut, they're slut-shaming her. It's crazy to me that the people who will defend those like Sophie Rain or Livy Dune and say that they're not a slut for showing their ass cheeks on the internet all the time are now completely slut-shaming Madison Kowalski. And it's honestly infuriating because first, it's hypocritical. Listen, if I had to make a list of the personality traits that I am bothered by the most, between narcissism and jealousy and hypocrisy would be at the very top of the list. I can deal with someone who's jealous. I can deal with someone who's narcissistic. I cannot deal with hypocritical people. They are the most unbelievable cunts on the planet. But then also the fact that the whole thing is literally illegal. Now, Madison did admit, now they're telling Madison that she needs to take accountability. Accountability for what exactly? Now, she did admit in her videos that she had made some regrettably bad decisions. So, as far as I'm concerned, she is taking accountability, which is something that you very rarely see from a woman. She's got more guts than half of you motherfuckers watching this right now. Because most of you all motherfuckers could not get in front of a camera and tell that story and post it on the internet for everyone to view. The entire situation was highly illegal because, first of all, she was under the influence. Now, how exactly was she under the influence? She didn't say. I don't know if she was drinking or if she was drugged or if she willingly took drugs. But the point is she was under the influence. And even if she was not under the influence, they recorded her in a private moment doing sexually explicit things and then proceeded to post it online without her consent, which is highly illegal. The entire thing is very illegal and criminal. There is no defending it. And to anyone who does defend it, you are a monster. You're a fucking monster. Now, the reason why I was sent this video from my friend is because he believed that I would relate to it because of the Annabelle case. I wasn't exposed for nudity online, so you might be thinking, well, how could you possibly relate to it? It's not that aspect of it. It was more so the cyberbullying aspect of it, because people also made up rumors about me. People also posted things online about me that were not true. People spread rumors about me. People also went after friends of mine and people that knew me and made it their mission to ruin my life. And like Maddie, I also had people that I thought were my friends, people that I would have stuck up for, people that I would have died for, ended up betraying me and cutting me off or blocking me or joining in on what was going on and attacking me when I had done nothing wrong. Yik Yak is a very destructive social media, probably the most destructive out of all of them, because everyone on it is anonymous and people use that to their advantage to say things that they would never say in front of a camera or to your face, or if anyone ever found out who was saying it. And they use that opportunity to share things that they should not share, to spread rumors, to make up shit. And then what's even more astonishing is that there are dumbasses who actually go on there and believe what they read. I don't have Yik Yak. For a while I didn't know about it. Then when I found out about it, I downloaded it. And when I checked it out and I saw the clown show, I got off it. Now, every now and then people send me shit that's said about me on there, but I really don't care. I don't care what your opinion of me is. I don't care what's being said about me, whether it's true or not true. And I don't care about Yik Yak because if I can't even see your face to confirm who is saying or denying it, how am I supposed to trust it? I used to be the kind of person that if you said something bad about me, I would rush to clear the air so that, my friends wouldn't think poorly of me and I'd still keep my friends and whatnot. Now, when people make shit up about me or say bad shit about me, I just sit back and watch who believes it. And whoever believes it, I cut them off before they even have the chance to cut me off. Because let me tell you something. If I'm friends with you and someone is against you and spreading rumors about you, that just goes to show, why am I going to stop being your friend because someone else has a problem with you? Especially when they have to get other people to do it. These motherfuckers had to get the entire school involved to hate me. And I still beat their asses. I stand here by myself every single day, destroying absolutely anyone who tries to touch me. While they gang up, they're trying to come up with a plan. My enemies have literally teamed up with each other several times to try and take me down. And each and every time they have ultimately failed. And yet I stand here by myself, laughing. Now, when I first started podcasting and I first started exposing people, the people that typically went after me, first it was, it started out small, it was just a few people. My biggest fights was always with fraternities and sororities because they would gang up and they would try to come after me. You got a fraternity house of hundreds of dudes, you got a sorority house of hundreds, if not thousands of women, all coming after you, and you're standing here by yourself, and then they have friends, and then their friends are also in sororities and fraternities of their own, and they all team up. And I just kept fighting, I just didn't give up. And then eventually they gave up because they saw that literally nothing they did could stop me or could break me. And then one day I sat back and realized, I'm like, holy shit, I just took out all these people by myself. Now, fast forward to years later, I've taken on this entire school and their police department. No problem whatsoever. The fraternity bros and the sororities, those are pawns to me. Those are ants. Taking on an entire sorority, give me a sorority or a fraternity to take on. I will gladly take them on any day of the week. Easy work, light work. It's like Spider-Man versus a random robber who just broke out of prison versus Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. Green Goblin's going to be a bit more of a challenge, but he can still do it. But the robber, alright, you got no superpowers, you can't climb walls, you can't shoot webs. Yeah, this is going to be easy work. That's what it is to me. The fraternities and sororities and these fake accounts and these insipid little creatures who go online, Adonis is a bad person. Why? He hates women and he has an Annabelle doll. Oh my god. Tissues, please. Yeah, you're an ant. I will just stomp you out and keep going about my business. I will stomp on you and not even notice. You ever walk through like an ant trail and you don't even realize you're stepping on ants. That's how I am. Like, it gets to the point where they keep trying to attack and I don't even fucking notice. To summarize everything that happened to me, it started off with rumors and death threats, and I didn't think anything of it. Then they got the police involved because they put in fake police reports and put in numerous complaints. Then they showed up to my job to trespass me and try to get me fired. Then they tried to get Nova to evict me, which they did try to do but failed. Then they tried to break into my house. And then they tried to kill me. The only reason they stopped us because I exposed them. Every time I got attacked by Nova or FSU, the first thing I did was go on the internet and expose them. It got to a point where they had no choice but to stop or else I was going to expose everything. If I wasn't so good at exposing people, they would have kept going. They would have kept attacking me until I was dead. And for what? Over a doll? Over a fucking doll? And once again, I've explained before, I don't think it was the doll. I think what's going on is they're upset because I'm exposing people and organizations that have direct ties to FSU. FSU knew that it was only a matter of time before I exposed bigger things that they're doing behind the scenes. So they needed an excuse to put me down. They used the Annabelle doll as an excuse to put me down. They tried to silence me because they knew that I had important shit to say. Let me tell you two things. Number one, if there is someone who they are trying to silence, you need to listen to that person because they probably have some important shit to say that the bad guys don't want exposed. Because if it truly was crazy, why go through the effort of shutting me up? Why not let me just ramble on until I get tired? Number two, never trust someone who values their reputation too much. And I've always said this since day one of podcasting. Now, it is natural to want to be liked by a majority of people. Maddie even stated in her video that she dyed her hair blonde to fit in. I don't trust people who care about their reputation. I trust people who care about the character. Worry about your character. Worry about what you're doing today. Because that is who you are. Your reputation is who people think you are. Like, I see so many people online like, oh, I'm so worried because they said something about me that's not true. Why are you worried? Well, because then people think I'm a bad person. Okay, but you didn't do it. Yet you're behaving in a way as if you actually did do it because you're so worried about your reputation. And it makes it look like you do have something to hide. I'll be honest with you, most people who want to protect their reputation and care what other people think of them, they've got shit to hide. And that's why they're trying to create this false narrative. And I don't look at reputations because reputations are completely false. Reputations are false. I don't trust people.